Hey, this is Pat, and today we're checking out the all-new Bell Lithium and Lithium Mips helmets. Now, Bell has entered for the fall of 2024 a new helmet in their line that I think might dethrone the Bell qualifier as the best option for a bang for buck within their line of full-face helmets. Now, the Lithium is going to be aimed at you street riders, commuters, sport riders, even a little bit more V-twin. It's a very neutral shaped helmet when it comes to the overall design, but I think it can play in a lot of different segments depending on what you're looking at, all for under or around the $200 price point depending on which one you go with. So I have the standard version right here in front of me. This is the Bell Lithium. This is going to come in around $160. And then I have the Mips version on my left. This is actually a graphic within the Mips. But the Mips versions in solid colors will start around the $200 mark and go up from there. But you're looking at $160 base price and $200 base price, which I think puts it in a very competitive area of the market for new riders, for anybody looking to just save a little bit of coin when looking at a new full face helmet. And the nice part is it's going to be DOT and ECE 2206 safety rated. So it is meeting the new certification from Europe, all for that entry level price. But some of the other features we have here, you have a polycarb main construction. So it is going to be polycarb all the way throughout. You're looking at 3 shell sizes, extra small and small, medium and large, and then extra large and 3 extra large share that top size with 4 EPS liners on the inside. When it comes to a fit, it is an intermediate oval fit, so a little bit longer front to back than it is side to side. If you have any questions about sizing your first helmet or looking at just trying to figure it out, we do have a how to buy and size a helmet guide out there. If you want to check that out, you can go ahead and look into it. Spurgeon did a great job of nailing down exactly which fit is going to be right for you and what you should be looking at. When you're looking at weight though for this Lithium, you're looking around the 3 pound, 7.5 ounce marker. For both, you get a little bit about 1 ounce to 2 ounces more when it comes to the Mips version, which is pretty standard just because you are adding that additional liner in there. But before I get too long-winded, let's go through the helmet and kind of talk about the features, and then we'll get to that internal where I can show you the Mip system as well as what you'd be getting with the standard version. So a pretty standard design when it comes to it. I mentioned that before, kind of good for all riding positions. Very aerodynamic, has a little bit of a spoiler hit in the back, which I dig. They actually split it right down the middle, and it follows the nice contours all the way from the back. You do get a hawksbill main construction, so you can see it lifts up around the shoulder blades. That gives a little bit more movement at the shoulders, but it also helps get away from the collarbones, which are going to be a very prone area in the event of an accident. So it helps lift it up and get away from that. In the front though, you do have a single vent system that does go up to the face shield that you can open and close at the front. And one thing I want to call out is just this little tab down here at the chin bar. You do have to press that in order to release the shield. It's probably going to wear in over time, that it's going to be a little bit easier, but it is pretty hard to actually lift it up without pressing that button. And I think Bell did a great job of blending that into the front chin bar. Just keep in mind, you do have to press that. It's a little bit of a toggle right there just to release that center mechanism on there. But when you go all the way up, it's got a couple detents. I'd say really right there is the only other detent outside of open and fully closed. But you do get that in case you're running through a hotter climate or if you're going through slower traffic. You can just lift it up and get a little bit more airflow, which adds an entirely new vent to the equation there. Removal of the face shield is just a simple button at the side. We've seen that with their Panavision shields. We saw it with the Bell Raystar and everything like that. You just push it and lift the helmet up, push it in, and then lift it forward, and then it'll automatically snap back in as well when you're trying to reinstall it. So a pretty quick and easy system that Bell has used in the past, tried and true, that I like seeing that they're adding it even into these budget-oriented helmets. Looking up at the top, you do have 2 very aerodynamic intake vents up at the top. Just a simple open and close mechanism up top there to help get some air flowing through on the top of your head. And then I mentioned it before, you do have the 2 exhaust vents hidden under the spoiler. They are not open and closable. They are passive vents, so it's just going to allow that hot air to leave and actually pull some of that hot air out as it is doing so. And a really clean back of the helmet. You can see the 2206 logo on the back for that ECE additional rating. On the side, one thing I didn't call out before is you do have a drop-down sun visor. The mechanism is right on the side. I kind of dig where they put it. It's not down on the bottom side, so it's going to be a little bit easier to mount, say, a comm system. But you're going to have to mount that comm system a little farther back than you would traditionally. But I like the placement on there. Very easy to actuate with a gloved hand. You can really grab it and pull that lip up and down, depending on whether you're trying to open or close it. But let's look at the interior of the helmets. In fact, I'm gonna put the Bell Lithium off to the side and we can get a glimpse at the Mips liner. Again, Mips is you're gonna add a little bit of more rotation impact protection. It allows a little bit of slip. I'll actually be able to grab it and move it around. Just helps the brain kind of absorb a little bit more of the impact should you go down. So if you want that, for an additional $40, Bell does offer it, like I said, in that Mips version. However, if you're going for the standard version, you do just get a traditional interior liner, and I can remove the, let me get this piece out here for the sleeve at the top. It is a little bit harder to remove. One thing I want to call out there, that's pretty par of the course just because most riders either take it off or leave it on. So it's nice that it's a little bit tougher to get on and off so it doesn't come on and off when you're putting the helmet on, but it doesn't slip out of the way, nice and holds its place. So it is 4 pins at the top there. I'll go ahead and remove some more of the interior liner. We can get a good glimpse of that. So undo this double D-ring. I do like that they went with a double D-ring closure. Sometimes we've seen them go with a micro ratchet like we see in Europe a ton, but nice contour to the cheek pads. It is antimicrobial, it's gonna be moisture wicking, but nice soft and contoured just to be comfortable on all day rides. You do also get a little pop of reflective in the base of it, just in case you're leaning forward a little bit. Cars behind you will have to see that extra pop, which is always good, especially if you are riding at night. Remove the top liner, which is pretty standard, 2 snaps at the back and then a brow mount system up at the front. But you can see a lot of gaps to allow that air to flow around your head, cool you off and suck out that hotter weather or that hotter air on hot days. When you look inside, you do have some channels within the EPS system, help moving that air as well as 45mm speaker pockets to each side. The cheek pads do come out. You can see a little pop Velcro in there. That's gonna be how they're held inside. But I do like that they gave 45mm speaker pockets, as that's usually the maximum for speakers. Nowadays, I like to see helmet brands actually compensate with that to make sure you have space if you wanna add it in there. But a pretty standard interior, again, unless you're going with the Mips version and you get that additional rotational protection. But again, I mentioned in the beginning of this video, all in, I think Bell did a great job at offering a budget-oriented, coming in at the $160 price point or $200 for the Mips version, a budget-oriented option with features that everybody is looking for. Like I said, the 2206, a drop-down sun visor, as well as a pin lock shield with pin lock included in the box, all for that $160 price point, or $200, as I mentioned before, if you want to go with the Mips version. But if you have any other questions about the new Bell Lithium or Lithium Mips, go ahead and click that info button. That's going to take you over to the product page where you can read other rider reviews and see what other riders are saying about this all new lid. If you still have questions after that, or if you have questions on sizing, feel free to reach out to our customer service agents. They are all riders, happy to help you get set up for your next ride. I want to thank you for joining me and checking out the all new Bell Lithium helmet. I'm Pat, and I'll see you in the next video.